Hey everyone, it's Kim. Welcome to the 24-week pregnancy update. I can't believe I'm 24 weeks. I feel like I was just making my 23-week video. This has gone so fast as usual. I feel like the closer and closer we get, the faster and faster it's going. It's a little crazy to me. Just really quick, before I start this update, for those of you that had any concerns or negative comments about my last video about me being honest about gender disappointment and kind of what it is and what I was experiencing, some of you completely misinterpreted that video as I don't want my daughter because she was a girl, or I didn't love her, things like that. That is not the case at all. The point that I was trying to make, and I feel like I probably could have worded myself a little bit better, maybe in some parts of the video to make it clearer on what I was trying to say. I don't know. But what I was trying to say basically was, if you have this picture in your head of what you think the baby is and all your instincts are saying it's this, and you are fully anticipating it to be that, when you hear that it's the opposite of what you think it is, for some people it's like, oh, okay, whatever. But then some women, it just something in their brain, it just takes a little bit longer to adjust to that change and get used to the fact that, yeah, I was completely wrong about this pregnancy. My instincts were wrong. And some people are fine with that. And then some people, it's harder to adjust to change. I have always been one where it's hard to adjust to change. Ever since I was a little kid, I didn't like change. If I was expecting one thing, I expected that one thing. If it turned out to be different, I struggled with it. And that's just how I am. And so yes, it took me a little bit longer to come to terms with the fact that I was wrong. It's not a boy, it is a girl. And at first I was a little frustrated. I was frustrated at myself. Like, how could I have been wrong? I was a little bit sad because I had grown attached to this boy in my uterus, this idea of a boy in my uterus, and it was a girl. So, that boy that I had dreamed about and kind of imagined myself carrying didn't exist. So it was like a grieving process for like a child that I thought was there but really wasn't. And surprisingly, a few women do go through that, and by placing judgment or saying just be grateful or you shouldn't feel that way, yes, we know that we shouldn't feel that way. We know we should be thrilled 100% all the time no matter what. But you know what? We're hormonal, and some women just don't handle the change as well. And by placing judgment or just saying, well, feel differently, that doesn't help. That's like telling someone with depression, well, just be happy. You can't. It's just your mindset, and you need to work through it. And once you work through it, everything's wonderful. It's been 6 weeks since I found out that my daughter is indeed a daughter, and I'm in a place now where I am so happy. And I really, thinking back on it, I feel like, you know what? Yes, I did feel those things and that disappointment at first for thinking it was a boy and then being wrong. But you know what? She's a girl, and I am so excited because this is a very new, very different journey for all of us in the family. None of us have ever really been around baby girls. It's always been baby boys. So for it to be a baby girl now, it's a big deal. And it's a different journey. It's a new journey, an unexpected journey, and one that I am welcoming with open arms. And I am thrilled that she's a baby girl. I am really getting into it. I am still desperately hunting for a nursery theme that isn't all pink, because I'm not really a pink person, to be honest. So I'm looking for really cute feminine things that aren't pink, and it's hard because everything is pink. But I'm getting really into it. I'm getting very excited, and I am 100% content with the fact that yes, I'm having a daughter. And so for those of you that were totally misinterpreted that last time, you can shut all that down because it's ridiculous. I am 100% happy right now with where we're at and the fact that she's a girl. It just took me a little bit longer to adjust, and you know what? That's okay. Anyway, now that I've gotten that little disclaimer out of the way, sorry it took a few minutes to get that off my chest, but basically, pregnancy update for 24 weeks. This week, baby Sparrow is roughly the size of a cantaloupe, which it sounds so big to me. She's a little over a foot long and about 1.5 pounds. So that's approximately how big she is, and that just, to me, is so crazy thinking about where we started at a poppy seed, and now we're here at 1.5 pounds, only, 20 weeks later from poppy seed to cantaloupe. That's an enormous amount of growth in only 20 weeks. It's amazing what our bodies can do, isn't it, to create a human. Like, it blows my mind how cool it is. So she's really big now. Her viability last week, as I mentioned, if she was born with no other health complications other than the fact that she was extremely premature, she would have had a 20% chance of survival. This week, if she was born with no health complications other than being a micro-preemie, that percentage jumps all the way up to 40%. So from 20 to 40% in just 1 week. That means she's been doing some awesome super growing this week, which is really cool. So go warrior princess. So that's really exciting. I did have my midwife appointment yesterday. She said my blood pressure was perfect. It was 100/70, so that's always nice to hear. Baby Sparrow's heart rate was steady in the 140s, so again, beautiful, wonderful to hear. She said my urine looked perfect considering it's pee. She's like, this is beautiful considering it's pee. So again, no concerns there at all. She measured my fundal height. I'm 24 weeks. I was measuring 25, which she said is totally normal and fine and looked beautiful. She kind of felt around my belly, was able to kind of feel Baby Sparrow from the outside and like how she was positioned. And then Baby Sparrow started kicking. She was like, oh my gosh, those are really distinct, strong kicks. You know, I'm surprised, you know, that for 24 weeks that I'm feeling it so intensely. I was like, yeah, I've been feeling it intensely from early on, so I'm not really that surprised. She's like, that's true. She's just a big, strong girl. So again, wonderful to hear. It was a great appointment. We scheduled my glucose test for in 3 weeks. I'll be 27 weeks one day when I take it. How she does it is I will fast from 10 p.m. the night before, and then she will come between 8:30 and 9 in the morning the next day. She will prick my finger when she gets here. I don't have to drink anything. I don't have to eat anything. She will just prick my finger from my fast, and she will take those blood numbers. She'll look at them, and if they're between 70 and 90, I'm good, and I don't have to do anything else. We'll have our regular appointment. She will go home. If she pops it in the little machine and the numbers read too high or too low, if the numbers aren't between 70 and 90, then I will eat 25 jelly beans that she will bring, and then she will prick my finger again after an hour. We'll hang out for an hour. She'll prick it again, take those readings. If for some reason I fail that time as well, then we will set up a 3-hour for another time. But she is confident and I am confident that I will not fail. I'm 90% sure I won't even need the jelly beans, as is she. We're both very pleased with how this pregnancy is progressing, and so I don't think I will need even the 1 hour. I think that initial morning finger prick will be sufficient. But we'll see. So in 3 weeks, that's when that's happening. So of course I will update you on how that goes. My weight this week, I am 243 even. So I'm up a half a pound from last week. So pretty good for a week. Not that bad. Let's see, symptoms this week. I am having a couple of symptoms, the most noticeable of them being the heartburn still. Oh my goodness, combating that is getting very difficult. I brought it up to my midwife, and she suggested that I go get pineapple enzyme chews. So they're like just like chewy vitamin tablets, but it's not pineapple, papaya. I don't know why I said pineapple. Papaya enzyme chews. And so it's just papaya enzymes, and she said it's amazing as far as getting rid of heartburn. It is the best natural remedy, she said, she's ever come across. So I'm going to go pick those up either today or tomorrow. And next week, in next week's vlog, I will talk about how they're working for me, and if they've worked, and if I would recommend them, what brand I got, where I got them, etc. So I will talk about all that next week once I get them and try them. Another symptom that I'm experiencing this week is insomnia. Once I'm asleep, I stay asleep. Occasionally I'll wake up like once in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, but at this point, once I'm out, I'm pretty much out for the night, and I am like sleeping hard until my alarm goes off in the morning, and even then I don't want to get back out of bed. But it's the actual process of falling asleep initially that I'm finding difficult. It's hard for me now for whatever reason. It's just that pregnancy insomnia. I had the same thing with my son. It just like kept me up and I couldn't get to sleep. So my midwife recommended that I do valerian root tea before I go to sleep. I just drink a cup of that, and if I don't feel drowsy, I can take a melatonin tablet. I do have the melatonin in my medicine cabinet, and I totally forgot I had it, so I am going to try that. I'm going to pick up some valerian root tea if I can find any anywhere. And again, next week I will do a review on how the melatonin and how the tea is helping me with my insomnia, if it's helping me. And so you'll get a little mini review inside of my pregnancy update. You'll get a review on the papaya enzyme chews, on the valerian root tea, and on the melatonin. So I will do reviews on all three of those next week to let you know how they're working for me. My other symptom this week is being short of breath. I think I mentioned this last week in last week's vlog, but she's big now, and I know she's just going to get bigger. My organs are going to get more squished. So it's becoming harder for me to like draw a full breath, and I find it's easier for me to need to catch my breath. I notice it most when coming up and down the stairs to get into the house. I just like I lose my breath. After one flight, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm dying. And it doesn't help that it's summertime in South Florida right now, so it is brutally hot outside and humid. So it'll be like 90 degrees and it'll feel like 98 because of the humidity. It's horrible. And so feeling gross and hot and sticky and humid plus being short of breath is gross. So I'm just trying to avoid being outside as much as I can. I'm trying to stick to indoor activities for the most part, except for the pool. I have been going to the pool. We're going to the pool a little bit later. That's why I'm in this outfit today. We're just gonna go to the pool. But so pardon the appearance. It's a pool day. But so I'm trying to stick to indoor stuff just because it's so hot, and then I run out of breath so quickly if I'm outside doing things. So I think that's really it as far as things this week. I'm going to show you guys my bump, and then I have a question for you all. So here is my bump. Again, maxi dress. So let's see if I can get this to show you. I don't know if you'll be able to see it really. That's the bump. I don't know if you can. Yep. Oh, it's easier if I stand up on my tiptoes. You can see the full shape because of the dark couch behind me. And then from the front, you can't really see the shape because of the dress. And then from this side, it's just, yep. So that's the bump this week. Oh, okay. Scooting back in my chair here. Okay, now I have a question. I've been looking at birth control options for after I have this baby. I would like something non-hormonal because the hormones, they really screw with my already fragile system. See, I'm just out of breath from doing that. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Anyway, non-hormonal. I had the Mirena after my son, and I hated it because of the hormones. My body kept rejecting it, saying, trying to tell me these hormones are screwing you up. It gave me weight gain, it gave me ovarian cysts. It was horrible. So I only had it for a couple months, and it fell out 3 times. That should have been my clue to stop, but I didn't. But the 3rd time it fell out, we said no. So we just left it out, and we decided to start trying to conceive about 6 months earlier than we had originally planned, which I'm kind of glad we did, just because just think we could still be 6 months behind. It's just in my brain. We would still be trying to conceive if we had waited, if that makes sense. Just in my brain, that's how I think of it, even though it's probably not true. But so I tried the Mirena. I didn't like it. I've been on the pill before. I hated it. I could never remember to take it. I'm so scatterbrained. I couldn't remember it. I barely remember my vitamins. It's hard enough for me to remember my like prenatals and stuff. And all the other supplements and stuff I take. It's hard enough for me to remember those. So I've thought about the Paragard IUD because it is non-hormonal and it is a good long-term birth control. We are thinking if we do want another child, it won't be for a couple more years. So I would like something that is semi-permanent and will last for a long time, something I don't really have to think about. I have heard that it can make your flow heavier than it normally would be, which wouldn't really be a problem for me because my natural flow is very, very light and only lasts for about 3 days. And like the day 1 and day 3 are spotting, and then day 2 is like a very light flow. So even if it makes my flow heavier, I think I can deal with that. But I like the concept because it's long-term and then it's non-hormonal. So it's like the same concept as the Mirena, which I loved the concept of the Mirena. I just didn't love the hormones. The hormones didn't love me. So I'm thinking this might be a good bet. So if you've ever had the Paragard IUD and you have input to give me, please, please, please leave it below or shoot me a message or something. I'm trying to gather as many opinions and stories on it as I can. to kind of like weigh the pros and cons. And I love talking to people who have had it and had experience with it. Whether you had a positive or a negative experience, I want to hear your experience, and I want you to be honest with me, because I feel like choosing birth control is a really big deal. And I want to make the best choice for myself, my family, and my body. And I know that doing anything hormonal is not going to work for me. And you know, condoms, I'm allergic to latex, so we would have to buy the slightly more expensive non-latex condoms, and that's just a pain. And who wants to be thinking about condoms? I mean, come on, we're married. Like, I don't want to have to be fussing with condoms all the time. I'd just rather, and you know, natural family planning is good, but I feel like that would make me have a lot of flashbacks to the whole painful trying to conceive process with charting my cycles and everything, and I would rather not have to relive all of that, if that makes sense. So I'm thinking this Paragard is probably one of my best bets, but I'm still debating. So if you have had experience with the Paragard, please leave it below. Or if you have a suggestion for another birth control that maybe I haven't thought of, again, please leave it below. I know we still have a ways to go before I actually need to get on the birth control, but I would like to have my mind solidly made up when the time comes, so I can just get it and move on and have no qualms whatsoever about my decision. I want to be 100% sure with what I'm putting into my body. So yeah, I think that's really it. I'm going to do my haul video, so look for that sometime within the next day or two. I might just put it up again this afternoon after I upload this one. But yeah, thank you all so much for your support. Thank you all for watching. I love you all, and until next time, bye.